Hi everyone, it's Lindsay here, and today I am going to talk about knowledge, skills, and ability, and why you need to know the difference before you create your info product. A few years ago, I was taking an online course. This was back when I first started my business, and I needed to brush up some of my skills. This course was great. It had amazing content and information, and I felt like I was learning so much. However, when the course wrapped up and it came time to actually applying the information that I learned and putting it into action and using it in my own business, I got really stuck. I didn't know how to take everything that I had learned and actually put it into a real life practice. My expectations were sort of let down because I thought after my investment in this course that I would be able to do this, that this would take my business to the next level. And unfortunately, I think this is a pretty common issue that people go and they sign up for training and they have these expectations that they're going to learn something and be able to take it and apply it in their life. And then when it comes down to it, they just can't do that. So in this vlog, I'm going to share with you a key step to helping make sure that this doesn't happen with your info product and that your audience is successful and very delighted with the course that you provide them. So I have a little story before I get started on one of my biggest pet peeves. When I first started this business of helping people build awesome info products, I was working with a coach who wanted me to use the term info products. I come from a background, in fact, I've been in the learning industry for over 12 years, and I wanted to use the term courses, and I was just so resistant to using this term info product. The reason why is because I felt like that the term info product was very cold and not exciting. It was very passive. And I just didn't feel like it fit me because I help people really embody their learning. So take what we're teaching them and be able to create action with it. And info product just didn't feel like something that did that. So I was resistant to using it. I also felt that people that use the term info product interchangeably with courses had it all wrong. That courses were something where people actually learned. It wasn't just an information dump, and it wasn't just telling people and calling it training. And I had a real big problem with this. And I worked on that, and eventually I got over it because you know what? Just because other people use the term info product to create a passive product doesn't mean that mine has to be that way. Information is everywhere. Info products are everywhere. Whenever you're on Facebook or the social medias, you can see this content all over the place. Everybody is offering a free training or a free course. But here's the difference is the content that I make and the content that you are going to learn how to make is not just going to be another information dump. It's not going to be another product where people listen and the information goes in one ear and out the other. You are going to create a product where people can actively learn and then apply the information. We're going to stop having these courses that you spend all this time and money going through only to be stuck at the end not knowing how to apply it. I'm going to start by identifying the difference between passive and active learning. Passive learning is when you are sitting and just watching or just listening or even just reading something. Probably what you're doing with my video right now. You're just simply watching me talk on your screen. Active learning is when you are taking action on something. You are in motion. So you might take the information that I'm giving you and be going through your own activity on how to create active learning. You are going through the motions. You are performing an action. Active learning is really the best way for people to learn. Passive information is great. Sometimes you do have to have some passive content to explain like the core of what you're teaching. But when you get people actually in motion and get their hands dirty with what you're trying to teach them, that is when they really learn. And that's how they learn to embody what you're teaching them and they can move forward with it. So there are different ways of looking at what you're giving people: knowledge, skills, and abilities. And this comes into play with passive and active learning. So first off, if you are just going to provide your information to your audience, you're really just giving them knowledge. Knowledge is the key to knowing and understanding different types of information or whatever your topic is about. Knowledge is generally, when you're acquiring it, it's generally a passive way of learning. So for example, you read a book, you gain knowledge on the subject, but it's very passive. Skills are the ability to take the information or the knowledge that you learned and apply it. So maybe you read a book on how to create a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Having the skill to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it takes not only the knowledge, but it takes practice. And so now when you have a program where you are teaching a skill, you have to have practice activities in there. Otherwise, there's no way that somebody's going to learn it, know how to do it, be able to apply it. Therefore, skills are a very active way of learning. Ability is like the highest way of knowing type of information. It is when the knowledge and the skills that you have learned and practiced actually become second nature to you. Or they're second nature to you, but you can almost modify and apply the knowledge and skills in a way that best fits the situation that you're in. This is also very active. So you are doing something, you are in motion, and you are applying everything that you've learned. When you're creating an info product, you want to be able to take your audience through these different levels. Yes, they do need to have the knowledge in order to go in and do an activity. But don't stop with just the knowledge. Give your audience the opportunity to practice and develop their skills so they can eventually become, have that ability to make the skills second nature. Because here's the deal. When your audience can go from just understanding to having something be second nature, then you know that you've created a really successful product. It is actually changing their lives. They're making change in the world with what you taught them. A few key points on how to actually implement this in one of your courses. The first would be to know where your audience is starting from. Not everybody is starting from the same place. Sometimes people have absolutely no baseline of the information that you're telling them. Other people, maybe they have a basic understanding. You need to make sure that you know where they're starting from so that you can deliver the knowledge and have the activities to help them gain the skill that's appropriate for them. Secondly, support what you're teaching them. Have activities, have practice, and give feedback so people can make sure they know what they're doing before they go out into the real world. There's nothing worse than learning something or learning it and then having to go and apply it in a real life situation where you could mess up and have some serious consequences. Give people the opportunity to practice and feel confident that they can do it on their own. Finally, make sure that you are evaluating your program. And evaluation can be a scary word, but really all this means is that you're making sure that what you're teaching people is effective and that it's working and that they like it and they're going to go and tell their friends and give you good feedback. I've taught you some different information about knowledge, skills, and abilities and how to elevate what you're creating to the next level. And I want you to really take a stand and create a new standard for info products. Let's create products that stand out from the crowd, that aren't just information dumps or somebody talking and knowledge going in one ear and out the other. Let's help people really develop skills and even greater abilities to go and apply this and take action on it. Because when people can do that, that's what's going to make the biggest impact to your business. If you want to help other people, you have to help them themselves. And they can only do this if they're actually learning new skills and abilities. So let me know what you think. I'd love to hear some of your experiences in different info products and what you liked and what you didn't like and when you were successful in applying something in the real world versus not. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks.